Breaking news. That's right. They just had their press conference in. And what did I see? What did I take in from this pre-fight press conference? I think Deontay Wilder is the calmer head here. I think Deontay Wilder got the Tyson Fury. I see Tyson Fury looking a little nervous. And do I believe Tyson Fury can knock out Deontay Wilder? Yes. Yes, I do. There was quite a few times where Deontay Wilder got wobbled by Tyson Fury in their first fight. Do I believe Tyson Fury will go out there, stand in the center of the ring, mano a mano, no evasive movement, best man wins in a brawl? It's highly unlikely, highly doubtful, because if he does that, he very well could end up on his ass. Like, we know without a doubt, and even Tyson Fury said it, if he gets hit by the right, he's going down. Wilder only hit him twice with a right. Both times he hit him with the right, he went down. The second time he hit him with the right, he also hit him with a left hook on the way down. And that was the 12th round where everybody thought Tyson Fury was done. And somehow Tyson Fury got up. I keep saying it, though. Had that 12th round knockout happened earlier in the fight, I don't believe Tyson Fury would have made it to the end, even though he did look to recover well in that 12th round. I don't know how heavy Deontay Wilder is going to come in. I know Tyson Fury's planning on coming in a lot heavier. Around 266 is the targeted goal. He looked every bit of 260 next to Wilder. And you can see he had his fluff on his stomach underneath his sports coat. So I would say, yes, he's putting on weight. That is a good indication that he's looking to hit harder. The more weight you put on, the harder you're going to hit. Fat weight can slow you down, just like being too bulky can slow you down, and it can also sap your energy. But if it's good weight going under his fat, then, I mean, it can be very beneficial for him being even bigger to push Deontay Wilder around, especially if Wilder comes in under 220 again. I don't know. But what I do know is if he gets in there and slugs it out with Wilder, the fight's going to be over fast. Wilder could be knocked out, but it's highly unlikely that he would get knocked out before he hits Fury. Because if you go punch by punch, Wilder is a much quicker fighter. I shouldn't say much quicker. He's a lot quicker than Fury. A whole lot quicker. Deontay Wilder technically is not the best, but I've discussed this many times. He's extremely fast, especially when he does a little hop skip across the ring. He's extremely fast. Now, close quarters is where you want to be with Deontay. That way he can't get no range, no momentum, and he can't get full torque extension on his punches. It's a little harder to fight up close when you're the taller man like Tyson Fury. So by Fury having to get closer to Wilder to try to negate a lot of his power, he's also negating his own power to where he would have to smother fight him. How do I see this fight going? I don't know. If Tyson does what he says he's going to do, it's going to be an early night. It won't go 5 rounds. But I just find it highly unlikely that Fury's going to go in there and just bang from the jump. I see Fury putting on more pressure, but smart pressure. I don't see him just throwing all caution to the wind and slinging punches. I see him working off the jab, the straights, and moving until he's got Wilder hurt. Now, if you see him wobble Wilder, I think he's going to go in for the kill this time, meaning that he's going to unload a hellacious combo on him and then throw caution to the wind if he wobbles him. He's not going to be looking to box with him in that case. But from the jump, I don't foresee Tyson Fury going in there and brawling with this dude because he's going to get knocked out. And like I said, when I look at the two of them together, in my mind, I believe Deontay Wilder believes he won the first fight. He believes he knocked him out. You can see it by how calm Wilder is. In the first fight, watching all the press conferences leading up to the fight, and even whenever they were staring at each other across from each other in the first fight, Wilder had hesitation and nerves on his face. It was written all over his body language. He was nervous. This time, he's not nervous at all. He's like a cool breeze. And I like Tyson Fury, and I've said Tyson Fury is the man of the division, so somebody beats him, although I do believe Dillian White at this point in time would beat all these guys. If Dillian was in shape, you got to disregard his last fight because he only had 2 weeks to train for it. But The fact of the matter is Tyson Fury is the man who won all the belts. Tyson Fury is the only champion who did not win a vacated belt. Deontay Wilder won vacated, the vacated WBC, one single belt, and Joshua, all of his belts, he won. They were all vacated by Tyson Fury due to legal issues, drug issues, whatever you want to say. So, with that being said, if you look at the actual facts, there's only one real champion right now, and that's Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury loses to Deontay Wilder, I don't care how many belts AJ has. I don't care what road AJ's taken. I don't care what road Deontay Wilder's taken. At the point of Deontay Wilder beating Tyson Fury, he is the man of the division. He is the number one guy. He is the champion of all champions because he's the only one who actually beat a real champion. And I'm not discrediting the people that either fighter has fought, but what I am saying is Tyson Fury, the fact is he's the only one that beat a real champion. When Klitschko fought Joshua, he was not a real champion anymore. He was dethroned, belts taken. Not a champion. Tyson Fury is the only remaining champion. True champion. Not paper champ. Not look good with the belts, but actual champ. And I'm going to have to watch the weigh-ins because y'all know I don't like to do predictions before the weigh-ins. But I'm leaning, and I keep pausing because it's hard for me to say this because I know how good Fury is. I know how technical he is. But just looking at the two right now, the psychological battle has already been won by Deontay Wilder. And like I said in past videos, and I'll say it again, at some point in time, when you start beating good fighters who are technically skilled, it doesn't matter how untechnical you are, how lacking you are in the skill departments. If you have the power to put them away, you are the better fighter. And can Deontay Wilder's power trump all these other heavyweights? Is to be seen. He gets through Tyson Fury. I want to see him take on Dillian White, and I want to see him take on AJ. If he beats those two after Fury, so if he beats the three of them, we'll say, and knocks them out doing it, then there's a real discussion to be had about where you place him amongst the greats of boxing, where you place his power amongst the greats that have came before him. Now, there's always that argument that the champions nowadays aren't as strong as they used to be, but you can't go off that. You have to judge them off of who they're fighting. Just like a lot of people like to argue that Tyson didn't have the best competition when he was coming up. That's a whole nother topic. All I'm saying is you have to judge them off the best that they have at the time that they're fighting. And if Wilder can beat Fury or knock him out, even if he beats him on points, it doesn't matter. If he beats Fury, fights Dillian White and stops running from him and beats him and fights Joshua and beats him, I don't know where you rank him. Because then it comes down to real discussions about how good he really is. And it's like I said, some fights aren't about being technically good. You could have people who are great wrestlers technically, and you put them in there with somebody who just manhandles them, all their technical skill doesn't mean anything because the other guy's just too strong for them. If that's the case with Wilder, that his power is just too great for any of these guys to take, then he's the best fighter. That is his technique. His technique is one punch. And if that's all it takes to win the fight, he's the best. And again, I will restate what I said on a video a long time ago. As long as Wilder keeps going this route of fighting harder opponents, and this continues past Fury, then respect is needed. Like, there comes a point in time to where no matter how many, say, bums he fought in his career, there comes a point to where you have to start respecting what he's doing. And if he beats Fury by knockout, especially now that Fury's done had time to be back in shape, sharpen up his skills. And I don't know, I can't sit here and say Tyson's as good as he was when he fought Klitschko or as good as he was before the 3-year break. I can't say that. But what I can say is if he beats Fury and he does fight Dillian White or Povetkin or somebody else, a Parker, although I would rather see him fight White, because White already beat Parker, getting on a tangent. If Wilder goes on to beat more top-tier guys, this is where the legacy talk starts to begin. Because then he's so close to 50-0. If he can get those three big names under him before 50-0, what do? Where do you place him? Because I would argue that if he can beat Tyson Fury, Dillian White, AJ, and then, I mean, there's really not that many more out there. You got Parker, Povetkin, Chisora, who's older. Really, those are the three hurdles. If he gets through those three hurdles or maybe come and fight Andy Ruiz again, it doesn't matter who he fights up to 50. If he can beat those three big names before he reaches 50, or 49-0, I should say, maybe he'll make 50, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll stop at 49. But if he makes it to 49-0 with defeating Fury, defeating AJ, defeating Dillian White, then there's a real argument to be had as well. Is he better than Rocky Marciano, who's the only heavyweight to go 49-0 and retire with the belt? And I know that sounds crazy. And I'm not trying to please fans or anything like that. I'm not trying to jump on a bandwagon because we all know I call it straight down the middle. I'm not trying to get fans from nobody else, and I'm not trying to widen my audience. If I wanted to do that, I would have boosted up Pacquiao and had 100,000 subs in a day because that seems to be how all the Pacquiao channels are. That's not my thing. I'm being honest and speaking from the heart. If he can do that, then there comes a time where we have to really talk about how great is Deontay Wilder, regardless of his skill level. As a fighter, he's better than them because he's putting them to sleep. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because, to me, this is the first time I've ever seen Fury look nervous. Yeah, he was talking good. Yeah, he was talking about brawling with them. But when Deontay Wilder would interject and talk about certain things that Fury was talking about Fury talking about, oh, I'm going to stand in the middle of the ring and punch him, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then Deontay Wilder's rebuttal was, he could say he's going to do that. And then he said, I always say, speak and see it, believe it. And then he was like, but you got to believe it. Normally, in the first one, Tyson Fury would chime in and say something. This time, Tyson Fury was basically quiet the whole time Wilder was talking. And that's something we didn't see in the lead up to the first fight. I really think, and then again, I must restate, something happened to Tyson Fury in their first fight to not want a rematch right off the bat. This is the first time I've ever seen where you believe you want to fight and you wait three fights, because this would be the third, but you have 2 fights in between before you take your rematch that's already signed. Like, I've never seen a fighter wait that long that didn't lose. And that tells you, and I'm believing that he's got some fear in him. And if he gets into that ring scared of Wilder, he might not fight the same. He might be hesitant to throw the jab, hesitant to throw the straight, hesitant to do a sidestep, hesitant to come in. He might be slow on the trigger. And if you're slow to throw a punch and you're behind the other guy punching, you're going to get hit. I don't know. I don't like the way Fury was looking. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's my 2 cents. That's how I believe it. As of what I'm seeing right now, I'm leaning towards Deontay Wilder winning the rematch because I already think Deontay Wilder's won the psychological warfare. And I always say fighting, boxing, kickboxing, any sport like that is 90% mental. Thank y'all again for watching.